Hey guys, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, I'm a twin mom to Everett and Amelia via IVF, and today I thought I would share with you my 1-year postpartum experience after having the twins. They are actually 13 months old now, so I have made it the last year and I have lots to share with you. I will try to not make this a super long-winded and boring video, but I can't make any promises. I am also super excited today because Unimom has sponsored this video and they have provided me with an awesome pump called the Zomee pump, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I could totally be wrong, but it's this awesome hands-free wireless double breast pump, and it can also just pump on one side. It has a little plug. It is super cute, this super cute teal, and I actually just used it yesterday and I ended up getting like 1.5 ounces more milk than my normal breast pump that I use in less time. So I was super happy with it, and the best part about it is it's extremely affordable. It's way less than the Medela Freestyle pump that I normally use and that I have. I actually was able to get my breast pump for 70% off through my insurance, and this breast pump, even paying full price for it, was, even if you had to pay full price for it, is less than that. So I think it's an awesome pump. And it would be great even as your like secondary pump if you were going to have it at work or have it in the car for traveling, whatever. So I will leave a coupon code for you down below if you are interested in picking up a pump for yourself. So the number one area of interest that I think I had, and that I think most people have when they get pregnant with twins or they're anticipating getting pregnant with twins, is the weight loss journey after pregnancy. So I ended up losing the weight really fast, but I think that has to do with a lot of different factors. I don't think that it's solely based off of just having the babies. So to give you a little backstory, I actually had already started gaining a lot of weight with the fertility struggles that we had and my hormones being off balance. So I had already been higher than my normal weight when I got pregnant, and then during pregnancy, I really didn't gain that much weight. So they told me I would gain probably up to 60 pounds, and I ended up gaining 40 pounds, I think. And I think that might have to do with the fact that I walked every single day, and then I also was super sick during the first trimester, so I didn't gain any weight during the first trimester. I like hardly ate anything, and I vomited like at least a few times a week. So I gained most of my weight at the end of the second trimester and into the third trimester. I don't know if that is the reason why I didn't gain as much weight during my pregnancy, but who knows. So with weight loss after the babies, I was like rapidly losing weight at like 5 pounds a week, I feel like, and I stopped losing weight around 6 months. So for the first 6 months, I was just always dropping weight, losing weight, losing weight. I did not diet. I really didn't exercise. I would still go on walks, and when I was able to start running again, I ran here and there, nothing more than like a 1.5 mile jog. But I didn't do anything to like lose weight. And in fact, I feel like I eat worse now than I've ever eaten in my life because I can't have dairy, soy, eggs, or nuts. So after about 8 weeks, when the babies were about 8 weeks old, I ended up having to cut those things because Amelia, my daughter, had an intolerance to those foods, and so I still am free of all those things. And you would think that that was the reason I may have also lost weight, which could very well be true, but I eat so many carbs and bread and vegan cookies. So I don't know, my calorie intake and carb count is really high, and I feel like I eat like junky food. Like I have fig bars for a snack, or popcorn, or just like all these things that I never really snacked on before. I would snack on like eggs and protein and cheese. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the reason why I've also lost weight. But I'm saying all these things because if you are pregnant with twins or you just had your twins and you aren't losing weight as rapidly as I did, I don't want you to feel like something's wrong or bad or whatever in any way, because I think that my situation is pretty unique and different from a normal pregnancy, because I had the fertility issues and I had to cut all those food groups. So we will see. I don't know. It's my only pregnancy. So if I ever got pregnant again and the situation was different, I'll let you know. But as of right now, I did lose most of the weight really fast, and I lost all the weight and then some by like the 6-month mark. So I actually lost around 20 more pounds than the 40 that I gained. So I lost around 60 pounds after the kids, and I haven't lost any more weight after that like 6-month mark. But I also have not really like worked out or eaten healthy either. So I kind of want to lose another like 15 pounds just to get back to what my average normal weight used to be before I started having all these hormone issues, and we went through IVF and I was pumping different hormones in me and all of that. So if I don't, I don't. It's not that big of a deal to me, but I think if I like worked out really hard, maybe I could. So, yeah, I think that also breastfeeding helped lose the weight. I've heard that it burns a ton of calories and that a lot of people that breastfeed end up losing weight pretty rapidly. So I still breastfeed exclusively, and so I think that that has helped me lose weight and keep the weight off thus far. The babies are 13 months old, so it's been 13 months of breastfeeding so far, which I'm very happy about. I plan on continuing breastfeeding until they are 18 months, so we will see. I'm really scared to stop breastfeeding and then like having to actually work out and diet again, because it's been really nice to not have to worry about that stuff. So as far as what my body looks like after pregnancy, I have a ton of stretch marks, which I did not think was going to happen because they all came at like the very last few weeks of pregnancy. I kept thinking like, oh, I don't have any stretch marks. I'm gonna be one of those people that bounce back and their tummy looks the same, and no. So I have never actually had a flat, cute stomach before. I've always had like kind of a chunky stomach. Even when I was at my thinnest, I have always had a chunky stomach, which I don't care. Whatever. If you don't like it, don't look at me. But the stretch marks are a little much, so I will show you. Don't freak out because this may not happen to you. I've seen other twin moms that they do not look like this at all. I also think that it may take a little bit longer. My doctor said that a lot of times it takes like your skin a little bit longer to go back, and they will fade over time. So we shall see. Right now I have like a lot of loose skin that I never had before, and so I'm hoping with some exercise and working out again and dieting again, that will go away, but we'll see. I'll show you what I look like now. So this is with my like high-waisted leggings, and you know, it's not like flat or anything, but I don't have a whole lot of stretch marks. I don't know if you can see above my waistline, the high waist pants line, but I do have a ton if you take it off. And then I have all this like loose skin. And my belly button is wild. Like, it did not look like this before. It was a very cute belly button, and now it's just like so weird. And I have stretch marks like on my sides and I just have like this weird like hanging skin belly. It's so weird. So yeah, but in a swimsuit, like in one of the high-waist bikini swimsuits, I mean, you really can't see, so it's not the end of the world to me. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, if I don't lose the stretch marks and the skin doesn't go back to normal, I would consider getting like laser surgery to get some of them removed, but I have a giant scar on my leg that I got when I was a baby, and I've had it like literally my whole life. You've probably seen it if I've worn shorts in a video, and it does not bother me because I've literally had it my whole life. So scars don't bother me. I don't think the stretch marks are going to bother me that much. The loose skin, it kind of bothers me. I don't want to have to wear like high-waisted stuff forever and ever and ever, but if I do, whatever, right? I mean, my husband loves me, so. The other thing that I've heard everybody talk about is postpartum hair loss. So I had crazy postpartum hair loss, like more hair than anybody that I know came out. My hairstylist actually told me that I had more like regrowth that she's ever seen, which means more hair loss than she's ever seen. And my nutritionist, actually my daughter's nutritionist for all the intolerances, told me that I probably was protein deficient from having to cut dairy. And so, yeah, I hope that that's not going to happen to anybody else and that it's a little more abnormal, but I did have a ton of hair loss. Like, my husband sat me down and asked me if I was okay because he saw so much hair in the garbage and he was worried that I was like mentally not okay from how much of my hair was falling out. But I was fine. I'm just like, it is what it is. And I wore my hair up every single day anyway because I was feeding the babies and I was just home and taking care of twins. So I wasn't like trying to do my hair cute anyway. Now that they're a year old, I'm going back into the office and I'm working a lot more and I'm trying to like look normal more often than before, and so the hair regrowth is a little crazy. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I have so many just crazy baby hairs everywhere. So if I were to like wear my hair up, it just like falls flat sometimes like that because it's just crazy. So I ended up cutting my hair. It was like long and luxurious when I was pregnant, and then it started all falling out. So I cut my hair and that has helped a lot. But yeah, the hair loss was unreal. And my hair actually stopped falling out as much around the 9-month mark. So it was like 9 months of crazy hair loss. Next question that I think is a common one that people have is how soon after you have your babies did your period come back? So mine did not come back for 8 months, and during IVF and then pregnancy and then after pregnancy, I got so used to not having to deal with that, and I was so sad when it came back. I was so caught off guard and I totally forgot that I even had periods, and then when it came back, I was like, this is disgusting. Why do women have to go through this every single month? It was so nice not having it, but I will say that it came back way heavier than normal, way heavier than I've ever had in my entire life, and it still is. I'm on like my 4th one, I think, 3rd or 4th one, and every single one since then has been really crazy, and I do not enjoy it. I hate it. So I may actually go to the doctor and ask how normal it is, but everybody that I've talked to says it's pretty normal, so we'll see. But yeah, I don't have any other like crazy symptoms, so I don't think that I have anything wrong with me. I think it's just, again, hormone shift. I had 2 babies. This is my life now. I don't know. One really weird thing that happened to me after I had the babies was I got trigger finger, which I never even knew was a thing, but I went to my checkup with my doctor. I think they have you go in after like 6 or 8 weeks, and it, like, the nerves in my fingers were hurting. Like if I reached into the bath to like grab one of the babies or picked them up in a certain way, it would shoot all the way up my arm and it hurt so bad. And she said that that's a common thing that happens after women have babies because they're overusing those nerves and different angles of their hands to like hold the baby's head up or nurse the baby that we just never used before and were never like normal. And so she had suggested I go to therapy for it, physical therapy for it, but I didn't end up going because I had twins at home and I was just busy with them, and I did not want to like schedule something to be away from them any more than I needed to. And so I didn't end up going to physical therapy for it, and it did go away. I don't even know when it went away. I think after a few months, but it was pretty painful for a while there. So I wanted to talk about postpartum and like my mental health. I know that a lot of women struggle with postpartum depression, and I do not think that I ever struggled with that. Obviously, like, this is my first round of having kids, so I really don't have anything to compare it to, but I was never like super sad or anything. Of course, I felt overwhelmed at times, and I just, you know, would cry sometimes from being so tired, and nursing hurt really bad for me. So for a while there, they were tandem feeding and I had 2, and my nipples just freaking hurt super bad. And so there was a few times, like I could probably count on one hand, where they woke up in the middle of the night and I was just tired and they wanted to nurse and I was in so much pain and I would cry. But I would not categorize that as postpartum depression in any way, shape, or form. I don't think that I experienced it, because from what I've heard from other people that have had it, they were just, you know, really sad, and they, you know, couldn't connect with their babies or whatever. I didn't have any of those feelings at all. So I don't think that I experienced any form of postpartum depression, but I do think that I developed some anxiety, and I don't know if it's postpartum anxiety. I don't know if it's from like COVID and the pandemic and being home. I don't know if it's just normal mom, like first time mom anxiety. I don't know. I've never had anxiety before. I'm like such a, I wouldn't say emotionless person, but I am not a very emotional person, and I'm very logical. And so I never have really had much anxiety or experienced anxiety until now. And now I get like very anxious at certain times. It's not like an everyday thing, and it's not 24/7, but like sleep training the kids was really rough for me, and we did it like very, very gentle. And I, you know, I had my husband there right with me, and I knew that they were okay, but just like hearing the babies cry, or even if I'm upstairs and I know Dean, my husband, is downstairs with one of the babies, and I know that they're safe and they're fine and he's right there, it gives me like the worst anxiety hearing them cry, and I just want to help them or hold them or do everything myself. So I have a hard time like leaving, I think, and no, like trusting that they're going to be okay. And I think that that is it, just the anxiety, because my logical brain is like, they're fine. you need to leave, or you need to get ready for work, or you need to do whatever you're doing. But the like non-logical part that just takes over is like, it makes me super anxious to where I'm like want to throw up. So that is something to look out for. They say like, you know, go talk to your doctor about it or whatever. I feel as though I can control it enough because I'm such a logical person. I know that it's not like normal. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm not worried about myself. So, and I don't like to take medicine or anything like that. So I don't plan on going to the doctor for it because I don't want to do anything to remedy it, I guess. I'm just like very aware of it and try to like naturally just tell myself the babies are okay, or dad has them, or whatever, and be okay. If I think it gets worse, then I'll go check it out, but that's just me. So on my birth video, I think I covered my C-section recovery, but I will just give you a gist of my recovery for that. I had a really rough time in the hospital. I ended up like vomiting after having the C-section like all day long. I couldn't sit up. I had to lay down. I couldn't even like look at the babies or nurse them. The nurses had to like lay the babies on top of me and nurse them for me with my body because I couldn't lift my head up or else I would vomit. And it wasn't until they gave me like one of those C-sickness patches that goes on your neck that I stopped feeling as nauseous. And then I couldn't get up for like the first 24 hours, and usually they have you get up like that night if you had a surgery in the morning. I couldn't get up at all because I was so sick. So and then every time I got up after that, for the first like 3 days, I would get these really crazy shakes and convulsions, and my body like was shivering uncontrollably, and they would have to put a bunch of warming blankets on me until my body would stop doing that. So I had a really rough recovery in the hospital, but then when I got home from the hospital on day 4 and moving forward after that, I think I had a normal recovery. I didn't have any excessive pain. I ended up re-upping my prescription for, I think I was on hydrocodone. I got more of that, but then I didn't end up taking it. I just got some because I was really nervous about the pain because I had had those crazy shakes, but I didn't end up needing it. I let myself like kind of wean off of the pain medication and experience what I was feeling, and I was okay. So yeah, my recovery I think was pretty normal and it wasn't bad. And as soon as my doctor gave me the clear, I started going on walks, and I started small and just like walked a block and then moved up from there. And then I even started running pretty quickly after that, and everything was fine. And then after a few months, I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 months, I fell down the stairs with Everett. I was holding him and I fell like completely on my back, and so I couldn't run anymore, and I had to do physical therapy for my back. So they had me stop running for like 2 months, and now I've slowly gotten back into it. So I think if it wasn't for that, I would have been like way more active and working out way more. As you guys know, and as I've mentioned before, I have nursed the babies exclusively for this 13 months, and I'm super happy about that. We just weaned them from their day feeds and their night feeds. We are on like day 3 of that, so they are only nursing in the morning, once in the morning and then once before bed. But before that, I nursed them every 3 hours, and when they were really little, even like every 2 hours. And I've been super happy with that. So I have a whole video on breastfeeding, which you can check out, where I go into detail on like all the pains and things and that I had to go through with that. But yeah, just postpartum. I have nursed the entire time, so I haven't had any issues with like my milk supply dipping or anything like that, or not having enough. I know a lot of twin moms end up having that, or when their period comes back, their milk supply dips or goes away. I haven't had that issue. I did notice pumping that around like before I'm gonna start my period, like maybe a week before, my milk supply seems to dip a tiny bit, like pumping wise, but the kids have never acted hungry or anything, so I don't know if that's it or what, but I haven't had any like major noticeable issues. And then along with that, I am still nursing, so I can't report anything about like my boobs deflating or looking weird or whatever. I've heard a lot of nursing moms say that after they get done nursing. I'm still nursing, so I don't know, but I'm kind of scared to see what they're gonna look like after. As of now, they look fine, I think. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that I helped give you some information on postpartum life after having twins, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to continue following along with our family, we post videos on Thursdays and then sometimes on Saturdays because twin mom life. So please give us a subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day.